Hey Cancer, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings. We're going to take what works and leave what doesn't. And go ahead and check your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus if you want. I'm cutting the deck here. We're doing traditional tarot spread over here. And then over on Vimeo, we'll do a traditional tarot spread about relationships. So from the bottom of the deck, we have the Sun card, happiness, and everything being seen, some part of yourself emerging into the world, some true vision that you've had in reality, being able to see something very clearly, maybe even something about yourself, and that would make you very happy. Yeah, your solar plexus is lit up here, some sort of part of yourself and vision for who you really are. It comes to fruition. The Sun, clarity. Everything that needs to be seen is seen. Okay, fine. I'll take the other one from the bottom of the deck. It's 8 of emotions. And so this is really funny to me. This one wanted, it was supposed to be shown here. We have the seeing, and then we have the eclipse, the not seeing. But in this one, the eclipse, actually, the sun was maybe a little too bright. And so the eclipse helps you actually see what's actually here, the environment. And actually during an eclipse, there's not really a lot of shadows because there's not a lot of sun. But out here in the desert, both of these take place in the desert. They both don't have a lot of other things going on. The life here is within you. And then something gets blocked out. Something, literally not being able to see something, shows you something, shows you where your life could be better, shows where there could be improvements made. Not being able to see, when you have the vision, and then when sort of the vision is removed from you, or when you're not being told the truth, or you're not getting clarity or something like that, it actually like helps you to see what normally would have been in shadow, what more, right? Every sun casts a shadow. So what normally would have been in shadow is now visible and clearer. So you're starting to understand that in this place, 8 of emotions would be something, wanting something more, seeing where improvements could be made, where maybe before you didn't see where improvements could be made, but there's sort of like, it's almost like both of these have this really strong pattern, and there might be a routine or a pattern going on. And then once it gets disrupted in some way, you can see where your routine and your pattern could be improved and how you could get closer to something that you want. But it's like, you know, like if you go on vacation, if you have your routines and then you go on vacation, you return, you're a different person, you see things differently, you have a different perspective, and suddenly you can see part of your routine that's not working for you anymore, or part of where like actually you want something else, you want something different. But so there's this way in which something you normally can see, you can't see, and then all of a sudden it like shows you something. So both of these have you seeing something, and what they have you seeing is a way to improve something, or how something could be better, how your life could be better in some way. And it really resonates with you, this improvement that you see. It's suddenly really clear. It feels like a very like sudden clearness. And it is like, because when we're doing these readings, everything is information. And remember that I never take 2 cards from the bottom, but I broke my routine, and it's bringing in a different message than what I originally got. So that's exactly the metaphor for what we're talking about here. It's some sort of break in the routine, looking to do something a little different, actually brings in more information and more clarity. So oftentimes like our routines can really like hold us in place. They're good, you know, it's a good way to get most of our stuff done, or you know, attend to our daily needs without having to think too much about them. But also sometimes they hold us in place, and we don't end up experimenting with a better routine or experimenting with something else. So that's what these 2 cards coming out looks like to me, is like, there might be a better routine or a better way to do something, and that's gonna be revealed to you because something makes it so that you can't do your regular routine. So once that is broken, you see something better, some way to improve it. Past, present, inner landscape, what's at issue, environment, to-do list, possible outcome. Okay. What? All right, Gemini got some of these in a totally different order, which I was not expecting because I cut the deck. I shuffled 7 times. I don't understand. I like it though. I like it. Like, I like the repetition here, but it is kind of like, wait a minute, did I do something weird? No. Okay, well, 6 of emotions. Something from your past, something, you missed something. Something, it's a little bit of a homesickness. It's a little bit of I miss the way things used to be. I miss my old self. Maybe you miss a friend. It's got reunion vibes to it, but in this one, it's clearly got like missing your childhood self, missing some way that things used to be. And maybe sometimes you don't miss it, but sometimes you really do. This could be a person that you miss. It's a very strong nostalgia card. This one comes in as a lot of nostalgia. And yeah, missing something. Feeling an emptiness. Around something. So that's where you've been. Some kind of inner child here that you don't feel like in touch with. The 6 of emotions comes in as a bit of depression or, again, we have sort of like the pattern, a very emotional pattern, and maybe some emotional swings here. In your current situation, we have Knight of Materials. So this is the person with a plan. So this could be you, this could be somebody else. It's someone with sort of a plan and a dream. They don't often take much action towards it. They're not a big showy action, like our Knights are communication. So should this person ever decide to communicate, it's more likely to be about a plan or an idea. But it is about reality. Like there is like, let's see what we got here. It is about reality. It is about like something real this person wants to have happen. Again, this is about patterns. Someone else is seeing a pattern and they have maybe some insight about it, having watched something in the past. This does seem like someone's seen a pattern in the past and wants to come forward and talk about it, or has observed something, or has some kind of idea. This is someone who has a plan. They may not want to take action on the plan. This may be someone who delegates something to you. Or maybe you want to delegate something else. But you're coming from this like child energy, this missing of some sort of child. It could have been a reunion, but it also could have been just wanting to reunite with some past energy. So here we have a Knight of Materials. They don't move usually, they don't move very fast, but they might have some communication for you. Or maybe you're not talking about this emotional wave that's flowing through you right now. Maybe you're not talking about it. You see it, maybe you see it as part of a pattern, but you might not be like really ready to take action on it. But you're definitely looking towards the future about what, it's kind of a plan for the future, something like that. It's a plan. It's a plan. There's a pattern. When I say a man, a plan, Panama. Okay, that has to do with the nostalgia and with the moving forward, but now wanting to move back. With this pendulum swing, I'm seeing this moving forward and then this moving back. This movement between here and there, and this pendulum swinging. and this seeing of patterns, this pattern that you might be trapped in. In your inner landscape, we have 10 of inspiration. So that's wanting to set a burden down. You're tired of something, tired of other people's expectations, of other people's ideas of what you need to be doing. You're sick of something. 10 of inspiration is like, when is this over? When do I get to put this burden down? When am I done? When do I get to be done with this? And maybe it's this emotional pattern or some other pattern that it really has caught your attention. And you're sick of it. You want to go back to the way things were. And it seems like you've felt this way for a while, maybe. But we're in a pendulum swing here. So you're tired of it, though. You don't want to carry other people's water. You don't want to do what other people want you to do. There's an expectation here from friends, family, or society that you are ready to put down. You're like, this is like you're at the end of your rope with something. I don't want to do this anymore. This is no longer fun for me. I'm not satisfied or fulfilled here. So, Cancer, what's at issue here is this Emperor in reverse, same as Gemini. Someone could be being a control freak. I guess it could be you or it could be someone else, but it's feeling a sense of powerlessness. And that is definitely coming in with this 10 of inspiration. This sense of feeling powerless in a situation, tired of something. And so the Emperor can come through. Like, it could be someone who's a bit of a control freak. It could be a situation that has more power and say. But the overall effect, as I told Gemini, was the overall effect is that you feel powerless in a situation. Whether it's because someone else has the power, some other institution has the power, you feel powerless in this situation. You don't feel like the rhythm, which we were talking about here already, you don't feel like you're in charge of the rhythm. You're not the conductor here. You're not in charge of the pace of things. You're not in charge of the rhythm of things. You're not in charge of this stuff. And you just feel beholden to it, like you have to keep doing something. This routine that we've done a lot of times here, this repetition routine, but you don't feel like you're in charge and control of the routine. This routine makes you feel powerless. Or maybe you feel powerless to change the routine. In your environment, you have death. There are big changes going on in your environment. These changes, and normally the death is an internal card, so it could be that someone in your environment is changing and is shifting sort of who they are. But it also, death in the environment would be like somebody else changing, or the whole situation is changing on some sort of energetic level, or by definition, the situation has changed. Something like, because it's usually ego death. And what I mean by ego is like something that's very well defined, that has like this parameter and this parameter, and I am like this, I am this thing. And that's how we usually approach this ego. And that's why any sort of approach to, like, you know, if you're like, I'm a kind person, and someone's like, this is an unkind thing you did, you know, you'll be like, no, I can't hear that, because I am a kind person. So there must be something wrong, rather than like looking in and being like, you know what, maybe that was unkind. Maybe I'm mostly a kind person, but sometimes I do some unkind things. Like, so something like that, something that's really well defined and can kind of feel threatened. The thing itself feels threatened when you approach it of like, can this be different? Can this change? Like, oh, no. But it is changing. So what before has been like, can this change? It's been like, no, because it's the Emperor, right? No, I can't change. No, I can't acquiesce to what you want. The whole situation is changing now. The whole situation is changing. So something that was rigid is now in a moment of fluidity, or in a moment of change. And then your to-do list. This is really fascinating. You should probably look at Gemini's reading. Your to-do list is the Hermit card. So this is your to-do list. What do you want? Minus these expectations, minus this helplessness. And this is going to be the hardest part with this Emperor in reverse, a sense of helplessness and hopelessness to change anything or to have control and say over things. That will be your biggest challenge, I think, in coming into this this space, this hermit space, this sort of solo vision quest away from everything else. Again, we have you in the desert, away from everything else. Well, we have you in the desert like 4 times here. Away from everything else, away from other people's opinions, away from other people's expectations, away and the internalization of being helpless and being beholden to some exterior situation. The internalization of that could actually be quite challenging for you to deal with. Because like learned hopelessness, it's like the opposite of learned optimism, where you've learned that nothing I say, nothing I do will change this. So when you go off into hermit mode to figure out what your next step is, what your soul is calling you to do, what you want next for yourself and your life, and getting in touch with your true inner being, it might be hard to break through into that true inner being because of some sort of learned hopelessness or learned helplessness, where you haven't been able, you don't have. And it's not about everything. It can be about certain parts of your life, but you don't have access into that certain part, into those hopes and dreams. You don't have even a way into there, because what would have been the point before to even asking yourself what you want and what your soul wants, what you want, because the situation around you wasn't going to allow any change at all anyway. So why even ask? So that door may be rusted shut a little bit and may need to take some work on sort of this learned helplessness idea of, everything I've tried in the past, or it's not possible, so why even try? But this is saying like you need to like get into wherever you felt change was impossible, and this is where we started, right? So wherever you felt that change is impossible, that's where you need to go, and that's where you need to look at that, greet it eagerly, or try to. Realize that you can have more say than you have been able to have in the past. With this routine, you can have more say. But what do you want is really the question here. What do you want? And getting into that space where you can open that up, despite, like it might feel impossible to even go there to what you want, but you need to go there to what you want. And that's what it's asking you to do. It's also, the Hermit card used to be called Prudence. So very careful action, taking your next steps. But of course, out here in the desert, where there aren't that many resources, we do want to be careful with our actions, conserving our energy only for those next steps that really call to us. Look at this. You're basically, here you are alone in the desert on your vision quest and all of these. Here you have your solar plexus lighting up. Here you have your vision, and here it is in reality. So there's a possibility for some sort of vision to become reality. But here you are in this pattern, making this journey, and the light gets blotted out. Your routine or what your expectations kind of get obscured here, and it allows you to see your path forward. So, and that's exactly, there you are here. These 3 cards coming out together in this particular deck is pretty cool. Actually, there you are, finding the vision, because you do have a way to break the pattern now. And then you have where you're headed, possible outcome, 4 voices, a vacation, a break from something, maybe a break from the pattern. That'll help you, like, it's what I was saying at the beginning of the reading, this vacation vibe where you go away and then you come back and you see things in a different way and you see how things could be improved. But first we have to have vacation. 4 voices can be rest, relaxation. Rest is, the first step is rest. So the Hermit and the 4 voices coming out is like taking a break from something and taking a rest where you can find it. So, because this is a revisioning process, re-envisioning something. And allowing sort of this rest and relaxation to be the foundation of your vision and the foundation of your next actions. You need to come out of a well-rested space, and to break from something, not necessarily everything. We can't take breaks from everything all the time, but some sort of rest or some sort of break. Allow yourself to dream, allow yourself to vision, and take a rest from some sort of obligation here. But that's what we started off as, like, take a break from some sort of routine and see if you can't, you'll come back with a better vision. But right now there's some sort of vacation or rest or break that is called for. And allowing the universe to kind of come up with the vision with you, for you. Okay, so then we're going to move on to the synchronicity cards. So synchronicities to look for, but they also have other messages too that are really good. I really like. Anything for Cancer, synchronicities to look for. Well, I was just going to say, like, don't give me all of them. But we only got 4. Gemini, no, we got 5. Gemini got 5 too. So, well, we have patience. Foggy bog, yeah, waiting for, well, okay, so if you see like a crane, that's going to be a big sign. Fog might be a sign for you, just something to look for. And remind you, fog is patience, waiting for the fog to clear. Patience step by step. I think I'm getting that a little bit with this Hermit card, these step by steps, prudent steps, especially when you can't really see where something's going. We have owl spirit, wisdom. So looking for owls. Luckily, owls are a pretty common symbol. So looking for owls, a way to apply the truth that you know. There's also, could be a red dress here. Owl, spirit, wisdom. Reflecting pool, stillness. So any kind of like pond or pool. We also have a swan here, a white dress. Stillness. This is this card right here, stillness. And this card. Honestly, this one's oh, this is cool. This is the desert and heading out to an area that's like quiet, less populated, a little bit of desolation on purpose, choosing loneliness and choosing desolation on purpose so that you can find your purpose. And then here we have like the water coming in, and this leading to emotional rest and emotional relaxation. Anyway, I'm seeing this reflecting pool. Here you are reflecting on what it is you want, and here you are in a pool. So it's like this card is both of these 2 other cards. So reflecting on what you want in your next steps, and then a sense of relaxation and relaxing into that, actually, is what I see here with the Hermit card, relaxing into that. But also looking for a pond. I mean, these are supposed to be synchronicity cards, but I also love the other readings. And that pulled out a new reading with the Hermit and the voices, like reflecting and relaxing. So, and then bluebell fairy, gratitude. So bluebells, fairies, even a deer here, or an elk. A blue dress. You got a blue dress, a red dress, a white dress. This is a very patriotic series of dresses here. We also have a red dress here. So, so gratitude. Gratitude. And then toadstools, growth. So looking for mushrooms, butterflies, those types of things. But also growth talks about like something that's been going on, being planned for a while, suddenly happening. Something that's been going on in the background for a while, suddenly breaking through into reality, is what toadstools can talk about. A sudden growth, a sudden change. And maybe that's part of this death card too, is there may have been some sort of plan or something going on in the background, and then suddenly the change is here and the change is real. All right. Oh, Ellen, a little prayer for Cancer. Plucky possum. Well-loved card here. Strategy, integrity. Oh, I think this is a little bit of the prudence card here too. Strategy and integrity. And wisdom. So, sensibility, prudence also. That's interesting how this card is pulling out that older meaning of the Hermit. Secretly strong and seemingly simple one. Show me the way of strategic gameplay. Interesting. So being strategic as you, well, also this is about a strategic change in your routine and being strategic when you change that routine. I think this Knight of Materials is observing for a long time before they make a move. So I like that, secretly strong and seemingly simple one. So, all right. So I hope that that was helpful for you. Join me over on Vimeo if you'd like a relationship specific reading. Who knows? This might have been a relationship as well. But if you'd like a relationship specific reading, let's go over there. I charge like a minimal amount just to honor the energy exchange here. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for joining me. Oh, hit like and subscribe. It does help the channel grow a bit. So, ciao.